What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I wanted to showcase some Ice-type gameplay in the Open Greatly because I keep on seeing so many of these teams in the meta right now that just disrespect Ice-type damage so much, and Dugong here is going to teach them a lesson. Dugong running Ice Shard, Icy Wind, and Drill Run is one of the best Ice types that actually can do real Ice-type damage in the game right now. It pairs very well with Galarian Corsola, a very bulky anti-fighter using Astonish, Nightshade, and Power Gem, and of course in the backline here, my friend Malamar running the Psywave, Superpower, and Foul Play moveset. It's been one of my favorite Pokemon to use in the meta. It's very safe, it's very fun, and this team was a very solid pick here to use because I went 17-3 with it today in the Go Battle League. So let's get to the battles and see what this team can do. Alright, first game of the day, Dugong as our lead up against a Unnovan Stunfisk, a very neutral matchup here. We're both doing a lot of super effective damage back and forth. I can debuff them, but they can outpace us, so it's going to be kind of a back and forth here of what they want to do. If they want to shield, if they want to just go for the zero shield scenario here as well, they're going to go for the instant discharge right before I can go for the Icy Wind myself. Smart play to throw before I debuff them. In comes our Icy Wind now, though it is super effective damage, but after I land this move, honestly, I think I want to swap out, get an energy lead on our Shadow Malamar, and see what they want to do. They are staying in for quite some time. They end up going for a charge attack against us as well. I know a debuffed Mud Bomb is not going to do almost anything to us. We can no-shield this overfarm as much as possible, but they had a Mud Bomb. I could have gone for the farm down here if they threw a move and I wanted to shield once, but I was gonna go for that, but they decided to overfarm themselves, and so I'm going to knock them out, knock out all that energy that they had there. Down goes the Ufisk with over a Mud Bomb of energy, and now Firo comes in, and I think I know the team. It's likely going to be that team that Homeslice Henry and Inadequates have been showcasing recently with a Dugong in the backline. If that is the case, then getting my Dugong against his Firo, and then getting my Galarian Corsola against potentially their Dugong in the backline should be a good way to win this game. They knock us out with that Drill Peck there, but our Psywave damage has done quite a bit of damage to this Firo as well. They go for an attack into us. I know a Drill Peck would knock us out if I let it go down, and I need a little bit of fast food pressure into this Flying-type Pokemon. In comes their own Dugong, so it is exactly the team we thought it would be here. You can go for a lot of Astonish damage, as well as a super effective Power Gem. Although Dugong's going to be able to outpace us, go for 2 Icy Winds if they want to shield before I can even land a Power Gem against them, which is exactly what I would expect them to do right now. Power Gem coming through this move is super effective into both the Furo as well as this Dugong here, so yeah, they want to shield this up. They know it is the hardest hitting move left in the game. In comes their next Icy Wind against our Corsola, and this attack will put us down into the yellow, but we can survive and go for this move. Our opponent, though, makes a pretty nice catch on the Furo, taking full advantage of that 45-second switch clock, but this move will knock him out, and that Furo had an uncomfortable amount of HP, so honestly, I'm pretty happy to take it out there, even though they did catch that move. They're going to go for the Icy Wind to knock out our Corsola, and that is fine. I think at this point, our own Dugong should be able to win the mirror match. We have a lot of energy. We have a shield left over as well. They're in range where a single drill run's not enough, but the second one should knock him out as well. In comes that first move. This one will put them deep into the red. Let's see if they go for an Icy Wind bait against us here. There's a chance they do, but I think even with an Icy Wind, we would still knock him out with the next ground-type charge attack. In comes that drill run against us, but we got the CMP here. We can guarantee, especially without a debuff coming through, that this will be enough to knock out. Drill run comes through, knocks out the Dugong, and we're able to pick up the win. GG there to our opponent. Next game, Dugong up against a Tentacruel. Fantastic lead here. I would expect them to instantly swap out. Let's see what they bring in. Our opponent brings in a mono electric type on the safe swap. I can't believe they just safe swapped a Pachirisu in a meta where I see basically Kento Marowak on every single team. I must be the only trainer right now in the Go Battle League without a ground type on my team, but I think that's still fine. I mean, we'll try to go for a chip and dip against them if I can. Icy Wind could be a drill run. Our opponent, though, realizing even if it's a drill run, it wouldn't do anything to a Pachirisu. This Pokemon is so ridiculously bulky. It's not even fair at times. In comes a Thunder Punch. It's a debuff Thunder Punch, though. Not going to do that much to us as well. But I know with the switch clock so desynced, this is going to be a little bit awkward because, yeah, they can just swap right back into their Tentacruel. I can get a lot of Astonish and Nightshade damage off against them if I want to, but they can also just make it so this Pokemon avoids my Dugong, and depending on what they have in the backline, this could be a little bit rough. In comes another Nightshade here against them. It's going to put them down deep into the yellow, and unless they're running Earth Power, I think I can survive an attack from them, so I'm going to go for the No Shield, and if they do Earth Power, that's a lot of energy down the drain. What are they going to throw? It is a Seed Bomb, which does put us down deep into the red, but we do survive. They've realized they have to throw all of their energy here to knock us out, which at this point, I'm fine letting my Corsola go down. I'm going to get an energy lead on my Dugong. Our opponent doesn't let that happen, though. They instantly swap out into the Pachirisu once again, and because I have an Icy Wind in just a second here, I'm going to stay in and try to knock him out. I'm going to go for that Icy Wind here. Our opponent is likely going to go for a shield if they're scared of our Dugong. If they're not scared of it, though, maybe they let it go. They must be a little bit scared. They shield the attack up. I come in Malamar here, trying to Psywave down, and at this point, while it might be a bit of a misplay to take some damage on our Malamar, it's still a debuffed Thunder Punch. Getting the energy lead here could be the play to make to win this game. We Psywave them all the way down before another Thunder Punch will be reached, and in the backline is another opposing Dugong. So I think all I need to do is go for 3 foul plays. I could maybe try to land a superpower here, but I feel like debuffing myself would not be a good idea. I'm pretty low on HP anyway, and 3 foul plays, even after a debuff, would easily be enough to knock him out. We go for yet another dark type charge attack here. It will draw their final shield, and this Dugong is going to go for an icy wind here, but I think they're a little bit too low on HP on both this and the tentacruel to survive the wrath of Malamar at this point. Tentacruel comes in, but we farm them all the way down. Now we have a superpower. There's no reason not to throw it at this point. No more fast move pressure if I knock out this Dugong, so we'll go for that super effective fighting type charge move, knock them out, and take the win. GG to our opponent. Next game, Dugong up against the Empoleon, a very interesting matchup actually, probably one of the Pokemon that you'd expect to counter Dugong, but because you have Drill Run, it's not as bad as you might expect. While they are going to resist our fast attack pressure so much here with both the water and the steel typing, if I can land a Drill Run against them, that's going to put them deep into farm down range for either my Malamar or my Corsola, and if they shield this up, then maybe leveraging a shield advantage with our Shadow Malamar could be a good play as well. In comes a Drill Run, down goes their first shield, Malamar swapping in here, and at this point, if they want to go for a charge attack against us, they can draw my shield, but I will always outpace them to the next attack, which means we should be able to maintain a shield advantage or just knock out this Empoleon. They're going to go for the swap out action, maybe try to catch a superpower on a Goodra, but no matter what happens here, I have so much energy on my Malamar. I think I can go for a 2-shot even against this. Yeah, it's a Goodra, but it's not that bulky. We're able to go for the foul play here on what might have been a CMP. We're going to try to knock them out here before they can reach their next Aqua Tail, and they just let it go down completely. So they just fully sacked a Goodra. That's kind of insane to me. If they come back in Empoleon, then we can go for a foul play, maybe draw their final shield. If they bring in a Regidrago, I guess, as well, then might as well go for a superpower here, try to draw a shield or get a massive amount of damage against them. And if they go for the shield, swap out into our Dugong. They do shield that attack up. I'm going to come back in with our Ice-type Pokemon, try to go for an attack here in just a second. I know there's a chance they go for a catch immediately on the Empoleon, but there's also a chance they don't know I have my move right now. I go for the Icy Wind, but they go for a CMP sack swap with this Drill Peck. Fantastic play by them. I should have gone for the Drill Run myself. I should have called that they were going to do that. Unfortunately for us, not quite what I ended up doing, so Icy Wind going to land into the Water and Steel-type Pokemon. Does a very little amount of damage, and honestly, debuffing their attack stat actually gives them so much energy on the farm down here. Hopefully that's not going to matter. I guess we'll see what's going to happen. Here comes a Hydro Cannon. It is debuffed. It's not going to do too much damage against us, but now I'm going to try to build up as much energy as I can. I want to be able to Nightshade that Regidrago if they bring it back in. I know they're close to another charge attack here. I don't want to take that on Corsola if I can help it, so I'm going to go for this Nightshade. If it doesn't knock out, swap into our Shadow Malamar, try to sidewave down if possible, but if not, still tank the energy here, and then farm down once again with our Galarian Corsola, and use the energy against their Empoleon later on. The way that I lose this game is if Empoleon can get to 2 more charge attacks against us here, but I think they're just a little bit too low on energy. Yeah, we're able to go for the CMP on the back-to-back moves here, which means while one Hydro Cannon will land, the second one is not going to be able to. We can knock him out with this Nightshade. Galarian Corsola closing out the game. Not a lot of HP remaining, but just enough to pick up the win. Love to see it. GG to our opponent. All right, next game, we're going to see the Dugong up against the Corviknight here. A very neutral matchup. It's one of the few flyers that has play into Dugong, but it's also one of the few steel types that Dugong does not mind to see. We can go for a lot of Ice Shard and Icy Wind damage against them and see what they want to do. Air Cutter going to be thrown before they even can bait a payback. They get a boost instantly. I can lower their attack stat back down to neutral, but this is still a little bit unfortunate. By getting that boost, it means their next move will do quite a bit more damage to us, even though they're only at neutral attack. I guess we'll see what it's going to be. That was a pretty quick throw, though. There's a good chance this is not a payback. Yeah, it's an Iron Head, actually, so I guess now we know the moveset here. Icy Wind going to be thrown now into the Corviknight. Do they want to shield this up? I think they can survive, though, pretty comfortably, so I would be a little bit surprised if they did shield. Yeah, they do let that move go down, and now Air Cutter likely being thrown. I think I survived this just barely, and if I do, I want to swap out to our Shadow Malamar, get an energy lead, and see what they want to do. They bring in their own Blastoise. This Pokemon is going to be a pick that, while it is a lot of neutral play against our team, down energy against our Shadow Malamar, it's not going to have a ton of play. We can go for the shield on this Hydro Cannon. Our Psywaves are shredding through their HP. Go for back-to-back foul plays against them. Either get their shield or knock them out before they can even land a single charge attack. But no matter what happens here in the 2-shield scenario, this is so dominant for Malamar. I go for yet another foul play. Our opponent likely going to go for a shield here if they want to get our final shield. In comes a move. Down goes their first shield. And now I'm going to double shield, go for a farm down against them, and see what they want to do with them in the backline. In comes that Hydro Cannon. It will end up getting our final shield. Marowak going to be shown. I think it's actually a regular Marowak, not even a Shadow Marowak. Interesting stuff here. No matter what, I think we're in a pretty good spot, though. Foul play is going to land, and because I let that move through, I think a fast move beatdown is going to be the way to win this game. I have a lot of damage with both Ice Shard as well as Astonish against them, but because our Dugong is so low on HP, just bring in the Astonish user, go for the fast attack pressure here. I don't even think they're going to get to a second Bone Club against our Corsola. As long as they don't throw a charge attack here, there's no way they are going to be able to. No, yeah, we just knock them out with fast attack pressure. They have very little HP on that Corviknight and on that Blastoise, so no matter what here, there is no chance we get knocked out. We farm down the Blastoise, we're going to farm down that Corviknight as well, and we can pick up the win. Love to see it. Just fast move pressure is going to close out that game. Next game is a Shadow Marowak on the lead, a Mudslapper that we love to see here, but our opponent swaps out immediately into a Shadow Empoleon, and we bring in our Galarian Corsola to answer. We don't have a great hard pivot to this Pokemon, but because Corsola is so bulky, we're going to be able to go for some Nitro damage as well as the Astonishes here and see what they want to do. They do instantly go for this move right before I can go for good timing on my Nightshade, so I will have to go down a shield, but because I want to make sure we have as much energy as possible, I'm going to overfarm another 3 Astonishes and see if they shield us up. If they do shield, I'm going to try to go for the back-to-back Nightshade here. And if they go for the no shield, then I'm going to go for the Nightshade against whatever they bring in. No, they do go for the back-to-back move, so that means at this point, this will knock out my Corsola, but switch advantage is not the most important thing for me, I don't think, right now. I should be able to farm this down with our Malamar, get a huge energy lead, and even if they do bring in that Marowak, they're going to take so much damage from our Pokemon. No, they bring in a Togekiss instead. They must think at this point that Togekiss is going to wall this energy. Surely it's a good matchup. But here's the thing. Psywave is a ridiculous move. You can see just how much damage we're doing there. They bank some energy, but then they swap out to their Marowak once again. So while they did bank a lot of energy, they took a lot of damage themselves. And we should still be able to outpace this just barely to get to another foul play. If they let this go, then this Togekiss is going to have a lot of work to do. If they shield this up, then I can probably farm this down, go for an Icy Wind against that Togekiss with our Dugong. I think no matter what happens here, we should be able to win this game. An Aura here likely does a bit more damage than a Rock Slide, so I'm going to no-shield this either way. They're not going to get to a second move here with this Marowak. We can go for that full farm down. We have an Icy Wind and a shield. That's all we need. We pick up the win. GG to our opponent. All right, next game here. Stunfisk in the lead. This Pokemon, once again, seems pretty common in this season. Our Dugong is going to be able to have a pretty neutral matchup, as we saw earlier in the video. We're going to go for some Ice Shard and Icy Wind damage against them. They go for the Discharges and the Thunder Shocks. We no-shield that first move. We're going to go for another Ice Shard into the Icy Wind for good timing and see what they want to do. If they shield this up, that is honestly the best case scenario for us. They do go for that no shield, but once again, I'm going to swap out our opponent. What was that? They swapped a Dugong or a Fearow into what might have been a Dugong. The fact that they got the simul swap there is going to bail them out so much, but I guess at this point, Malamar still is going to have a lot of play into this pick. We have the Psywave damage. Honestly, Psywave is shredding through their HP right now. They go for the foul play here, which will knock them out if they let it go. Let's see what they want to do. Foul play going to draw that shield. And once again, this might be that same team that we saw earlier on in the video with the Dugong in the backline. If that is the case, our Corsola or Malamar in the backline is going to have a lot of play. In comes that final shield here from our opponent. And I think there's a chance here that I don't farm them down if I shield this. I'm going to go for the no shield. I know for a fact one Ice Shard will be enough, so we knock out that Fearow. We have a shield advantage. Who are they going to bring in? It might be that Stunfisk, might be whatever their final Pokemon is. I guess they bring in their final Pokemon. It's a Shadow Charizard. So surprised they went down 2 shields if they have a squishy Pokemon like this in the backline. But because we land that Icy Wind, I think now all we need is fast attack pressure to win this game. There's no reason ever to go for a shield against this Stunfisk. I know a Blast Burn is going to do infinitely more damage. We can go for the no shield on every move they're going to throw, Astonish down, and now honestly just come out with a full-on Power Gem for that Shadow Charizard. No shield this once again. That Blast Burn is going to do so much more damage to us. So once we see the Stunfisk go down, CMP the Power Gem, knock out this Shadow Charizard. There is no chance they have to win this game. Rock-type damage is going to do so much to the Fire and Flying type. They're not able to withstand it, and Corsola closes out that backline. Next game is going to be a Bastiodon in the lead. Love to see that. Basti, one of the most fun Pokemon in the meta. We have Drill Run, though, which is going to make it so this matchup, well, it's not amazing for us. At least we can kind of dance around this a little bit. It is going to put them to about half HP here, but they're at 6 Smackdowns. Just one more Smackdown away, potentially from a Stone Edge. They instantly fire it off against our Malamar. We'll see if they swap out or if they're going to stay in for the long haul here. I don't really know at this point what they want to do. I guess we see the Shadow Kanto Marowak come in, and because our foul play damage is going to do so much, I wouldn't be surprised to see them shield this, but no matter what happens, our Malamar likely will get 2 shielded through. Okay, they let that move go. That is an interesting play. By letting that move through, I think there's a chance that I can farm down this Marowak. Maybe I can dance around a little bit too and save my Malamar if possible. We can't quite Psywave down, it looks like, but we can go for the foul play at the last second. This move will be able to get a shield or a knockout depending on what they want to do. They just let go of Switch advantage. They are for some reason, a Bastiodon user that didn't want to play for Switch. They come in with a Shadow Dragonite. And I think right now there is a little bit of play for us. I'm going to swap instantly into our Dugong here, knowing that an energy lead against that Basti could be pretty helpful. They can't even knock us out with a Thunder Punch right now. Yeah, they go for the full-on superpower, and by doing that, I think they're going to be forced to swap back into the Bastiodon. And if they swap into Basti, there's a chance I can ramp up enough energy on my Corsola to win this game. And honestly, with how long they stayed in against us with that Dragonite, I think there's also a chance to win this game just by knocking out this Bastiodon as early as possible. Go for the first Nightshade. This will put them down into the next Nightshade range of getting knocked out. Let's see if we can do it here. We're going to go for the catch at the last second here on our Shadow Malamar. 45-second switch clock is coming in clutch. We get the catch. Malamar is proving once again why it's such a fun Pokemon to use. And because I feel like there's no chance that a Dragonite can go for a Thunder Punch and the Dragon Breath damage to knock us out from here, I actually just fire the move immediately. I don't want to take any more damage from them. They let this Dragonite get so low. The only way we lose this game is if they reach not only one Thunder Punch, but a second one after that. I don't think they quite can here. The Astonish damage will knock out the Dragonite. Corsola sweeping the backline. Love to see it. Next game, Dugong into a Jirachi. Okay, not my favorite lead matchup here, but Malamar's going to come in, try its very best to do what Malamar does, and neutralize the threats. We're going to see an Azumarill come in here. And while this matchup is not the best thing for us to see, I know that for some reason Malamar can actually just two-shield through this if it wants to, and I have to imagine with a bad lead like that, Malamar definitely wants to flip switch if possible. In comes a foul play here against the opponent. I would almost never expect to see a shield here from an Azumarill. They let it go, and in comes their first charge attack. Now is the play where you just go for the double shield and farm down. I don't need to throw another foul play. My side wave damage is going to be enough here after the first two foul plays will be landed against this Pokemon. In comes the next move here, likely an Ice Beam, but if it's a player up, I want to guarantee the shield. They actually do full send the player up, which would have knocked us out. And they come in with a Sableye in the back line. That's actually a little bit awkward. I thought that when they brought in the Azu, that was going to be their one best answer to us, but no, they ended up having a second good answer. And honestly, Sableye is pretty strong into our whole team, so I'm in a bit of a tricky spot here. If they have Power Gem themselves on this Pokemon, that's going to do a massive amount of damage into my Ice typing, but because I can whittle them down here, there is still a chance we can win this game. That Jirachi in the backline is not going to have a ton of play into Corsola or into Malamar, but they actually went for the double foul play here, and they CMP us on this Icy Wind, which is even more awkward at this point, because now I would have preferred to go for a farm down there instead. I could have had some energy for their backline, but they end up wasting all of our energy here. Not only that, they get a huge farm down on this Jirachi. I can't swap out just yet, so I think I have to sacrifice my Malamar if I want any chance to win this game. I don't know if we have quite enough damage on our Corsola to go for a full Astonish down, try to catch a move on Malamar, but our opponent will still throw energy one way or another. Doom Desire or Sphere, whatever they throw, is going to knock us out. They go for the Doom Desire. Down goes Malamar, unfortunately. I think our one way to win this is if we can Astonish them all the way down, go for some charge attacks against that Azu when it comes in as well. But the Doom Desire here, it does honestly a pretty sizable amount of damage. I go instantly for this Nightshade. I know at this point that we need to knock him out with 3 more Astonishes to have any chance to win this game. I think 3 Astonishes would do it, but they actually had enough energy just to be 1 confusion away from their move, which means down goes our poor Corsola there. Well played to our opponent. Very close match. Next game, Dugong up against a Gastrodon here in the lead. This Pokemon is a very neutral Pokemon against a lot of things in the meta, Dugong included, but because now Gastrodon generally does not run Earth Power on its moveset, it's pretty comfortable to just no-shield the Body Slams, go for Icy Wind debuffs, and dance around them a little bit more. Body Slam does put us down to about 60% HP, but we have the Icy Wind right after. This move will end up landing, debuffing their attack stat, and making it so this Pokemon's not anywhere near as annoying to deal with. They instantly go for another Body Slam, and honestly, I can no-shield this any day of the week, and I like to keep Dugong around if possible. I know Dugong a lot of the time can have a little bit of play into the backline, so I'm going to get an energy lead on our Shadow Malamar, and this is kind of cute. Our opponent thinks a Togekiss is an answer to a Shadow Malamar. They don't even know how bad this is for them. If I land a foul play, which as you can see there we do, there is no chance they can flip the 2-shield, and if they just let us throw a second foul play, there's a chance we even get a shield back from them, but that's fine, because no matter what, I'm just going to press that shield button twice, tap my phone screen, and knock out this Togekiss. They have back-to-back Aura Spheres, I think, right now, which is, it's totally fine, though, because we have 2 shields. That's what Malamar is known to do. Shadow Malamar up all of this energy is going to be so hard to take down from whatever they have in the back. We're going to go for that second shield here. Aura Sphere going to end up not knocking us out thanks to that. And now with all of this energy, depending on what they bring in, I can start firing off some moves. They bring in a Fearow in the backline, and this Pokemon under normal circumstances would be a bit annoying for a Corsola to see, but down shields, honestly, it's not going to be that big of a concern. In fact, they go for the no-shield, which is probably actually a smart play on that Fearow there, but they go for the catch on this Gastrodon. I guess it wasn't even a catch, they just wanted to go for their Gastrodon right when I brought in my Dugong, and because now their final shield has been completely stripped from that Fearow here in this game, there's almost no chance that they have. All I need to do is farm them down with our Corsola, and then Power Gem that Fearow. While they do resist my Ghost-type damage, that Rock-type damage is super effective. They don't have anywhere near enough energy, and we're able to close out that game. Love to see it. Next game, Dugong up against the Unovan Stunfisk. Who would have thought? This Pokemon seems pretty common here today, but we have a lot of damage, they have a lot of damage. Let's see what they're going to do. Every time we've played out this matchup so far, they've ended up going for the no shield on my first Icy Wind. I wouldn't be surprised if sometimes a Yufisk would want to shield this up, especially depending on what they have in the backline. That discharge does put us down below half HP, but Icy Wind going to be thrown right after, seeing what this is going to do. Our opponent is going to go, oh yeah, this time they do shield, love to see that. And now with this energy and shield advantage, this is looking fantastic for us. They come in with a Furo here, and I know one foul play would not have been enough to knock him out just yet, so instead I'm going to build up more energy, go for the foul play after a couple more pecks here, and make sure that this is guaranteed range this knocks out, so that way not only do I have a lot of energy on my Malamar, but I neutralize this Furo, so this Pokemon is not going to be a concern for our backline. If it's that Dugong once again in the backline, then we're going to be in a pretty good spot. If it's anything else, I guess we'll see what they want to do. Well, that's not a Dugong, that's a Torterra. I guess that's still just about as good, right? We're going to be able to go for a two-shot here against this Pokemon. Foul Play doing a lot of damage there. We save some energy. We try to get an Ice Shard through. We actually end up landing that Ice Shard as well. And because we have a move on our Dugong, might as well shield up some energy on this Yufisk, go for that Ice Shard into the Icy Wind, and get even more chip damage against them. You have to keep in mind at this point that Torterra does have a lot of energy on it, but so does my Malamar, and my Corsola is still full HP. I don't think they really have an easy way to win this game. In comes an attack into us. Discharge not quite enough to knock us out. They can Thunder Shock us down, but we almost have the Foul Play. Just one Psy Wave is going to make it so we can snipe down the rest of the HP on this Yufisk, and then that Torterra, actually they do survive that, just barely, but okay. The Torterra comes in, gets completely Psy Wave down, and once again, a Malamar Soup in the backline. We can Psy Wave down everything in that game. Absolutely love to see it. Corsola not even required for us to win that match. So yeah, once again, Dugong, one of the best core breakers to use right now in the meta. Shadow Malamar pairs incredibly well with it, and Galarian and Corsola, one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the game. I think this team, it does have a couple of weaknesses. It's not great into a lot of electric types, but because you have access to so much flexibility, you can dance around a lot of things in most of the matchups you're going to see. It's a lot of fun to use. If you like Shadow Malamar, if you like Dugong, give this team a go. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.